Yes, grand triple. Wait, that's three. Come on, that's a home run. That's 5 runs.
Good afternoon, YouTubers and anyone else who is watching. This is Luke H. with the Backyard Bombers Football League podcast show, and this is episode number 7. 18 days from now, 18, less than 3 weeks, behind me is where BBWL opening day is going to take place. It's been a long, brutal winter, having so much snow that everyone's glad BBWL is back. So as you can see, the field is up. Nothing really has been edited, but that's alright. Just take a quick glance at the field. As you can see, there's nothing, no snow. But we've had over 55 inches of snow this winter. We had one snowstorm back in early February that was about 41 inches. And as crazy as it sounds, you see that right field fence over there? That black part of it, that black part right there, near the foul pole, was buried. You couldn't even see it. You can see a little bit of the other parts of the right field fence, but you couldn't see that black part. That's how much snow we got that one snowstorm. It was ridiculous, and it was not good to see, because who wants to see snow on a wiffle ball field, for sakes? Then that melted about a week ago. Then last Friday we had another snowstorm, 8 inches, not as bad, but then it all melted within a couple days due to the sun changing of daylight saving time. And that's just about melted all today, considering it monsooned yesterday. But currently it's 3:47 p.m. in the afternoon, little windy, and it's about 55 degrees, so it's a lot nicer out. So pretty much, well, yeah, that pretty much wraps up everything I've been saying with this podcast out here. Now let's go back inside and talk about what happened in BBWL spring training 2 months ago. Alright, we are now back inside, and we are going to talk about the Backyard Bombers Football League spring training game that took place on January 20th. It was an exciting game overall, but there was ups and downs, obviously, since it was the first game of the season. Although it doesn't count, there's always that ups and downs. So, to give you a recap, I'm just going to read the recap off the BBWL website. Just hold on a second, trying to get to it. Alright. So, this was written by Matt B and I, and this is what happened. The Fightins and Matt Mayers played some wiffle ball on January 20th, and the game was an overall success. It was broadcasted live on Ustream. By the way, we're not using that anymore. And despite some arguments from a few players, the game was an exciting game. The Matt Mayers took a 4-0 lead into the third, but just like last season, in the third inning, Luke H's control went south. After hitting 2 homers in the bottom of the second, he walked 3 batters in a row to load the bases, and after that he immediately pulled himself out of the mound. Jake H was rusty, to say at the least, allowing 4 runs, 7 inherited, forcing the Matt Mayers to forfeit. The final score was 8-4 with only 1 out recorded in the top of the third. And the box score was, believe it or not, the Fightins only had 2 hits. Matt B had 7 RBIs. Josh H had an error RBI. Luke H had 2 homers. Jake had a homer himself. Luke H had 3 of the 4 RBIs for the Matt Mayers. On the mound, he wasn't his best, but it was only winter. He threw 1 K in 2 innings, allowing 4 walks, which is not too bad for a spring training, but expected to do better in the regular season, according to the projections. Josh H and Nick B had no hits, but still early in the season. Hard to tell how everyone's going to perform. Like last year, Matt B was an unexpected MVP. Players thought Luke H had it, but his control was very off in the beginning of the season, and it led throughout the whole season, but not as bad as like the first few games. Now, we're going to talk about opening day. It will take place on Easter, March 31st, if the weather stays up to it. And it'll be 3 games. Matt Mears will take home games 1 and 3 since they won it all last year with the name under 442 power sliders. Luke H is expected to pitch games 1 and 3 as well, as Matt is expected to pitch games 1 and 3 also. Game 2 is expected to be Jake H and Josh H on the carpet, but it's not really officially decided yet. And also, Bob H might play, and Rocco C might appear in the last game or so, depending on when he gets here. Nick C will not have an appearance yet. We're trying to get him in as soon as possible. Probably during the spring or summer we'll get him in, which is good. Also, yeah, just all we are hoping is for the weather to be nice on Easter so we can play some wiffle ball, get everything back on track, and let the season kick off. So, this pretty much wraps up this entire podcast overall, from the outside broadcast of me explaining what happened this winter, to the BBWL spring training game, and to what's expected to happen on Easter opening day, week 1. So that wraps up everything now. Good evening and good night, everyone. Everyone, have a nice day. Go to www.bbwlleague.weebly.com. Subscribe, www.youtube.com/wildfirewhipper44, lhig44, and wifflecheddar7, especially. So, thank you for tuning in. I'm Luke H once again. Peace out.